So, hi everybody. So, my name is Soumya Santosh. Welcome back to CMA classes, and today I'm going to review the CFR paper of CMA Final of Group 4. So, let's not waste our time, and it's P18 as per syllabus 2022. Again, CFR is going to be our subject. So, yes, let's go for section E. Section E is compulsion. Okay, and we have to go with this questions of section A first. ठीक है, नहीं भी आता है तो still you have to fill the OMR sheet, because OMR whatever you have filled in OMR sheet is going to be taken as the answer, and if you have not filled it, then again you're going to get 0 marks. So yes, I'm not going to waste your more time. Okay, so let's go with question first of section E. When object of holding financial asset does not include collection of cash flow by the selling financial asset, such financial asset are basically measured at the amortized cost. So B is going to be our answer. Second question, chairman of a public account committee and CAG are appointed by whom? By the speaker of the Lok Sabha and the president of India respectively. So C is the answer here. Third, Dash requires that when consolidated financial statements are prepared, the inventor company shall also prepare individuals standalone financial statement which are named as a separate financial statement as per Ind AS 27. So if you know about this, naam bhi pada hai, then you know the answer, and that is the option D, Ind AS 27. Okay, let's go for the fourth. Pindari Limited, which changes its method of the valuation of inventories from what? From the weighted average method to the FIFO, first in first out method. The accountant opines that the Ind AS 8 is applicable here. इतनी बात समझ में आ गई. Okay. Now the account for this change is done as per what? As per definitely accounting policy, अपने को पता है. But what? It should be done retrospectively. So C is going to be our answer. Okay. Okay. Let's go for the fifth. In this case, I'll be quick, guys. Okay, I'm not going in depth because I believe you know the concept. Okay, and definitely you know the concept. Majorly you know the answers. Okay, and definitely I'm going to review the question paper. Keep question paper कैसा रहा? Don't worry. So we'll be there. पहले let's solve the MCQ first. ठीक है? Yes. So Alankananda Limited took an asset on 5-year lease. Remember, because 5 year we have to compute this. Okay, so it's done. Took the asset on 5-year lease from whom? Mandakini Limited, for which the relevant details are as follows. So the payment over the lease term, which is 10,000 per month. So 12 is going to be the total months in the year. So we have to multiply 1000 into 12 per month. Okay, so we have contingent rent. Are we going to take this? Let's see. Then we have cost for the service given by Mandakini, 40,000 rupees, and taxes to be reimbursed to Mandakini, which is 15,000. Residential value guaranteed by Alakanda Limited, which is 5,000. Again, let me highlight this part. They are saying residential value which is guaranteed by whom? Alakanda Limited, which is 5,000 rupees. Okay, because here the Alakanda Limited took asset on 5-year lease from whom? From the Mandakini. So we are going to consider some point, not the every point. Okay, like the contingent rent we are not going to take that. The cost of service given by the Mandakini Limited is not going to be taken. Taxes which is reimbursed to Mandakini Limited नको लेंगे. इतनी बात समझ में आ गई. So yes, the residential value guaranteed is going to be taken by whom? By the Alakananda. Okay, so this is to be taken. Fair value of the asset after 5 years, whether I'm going to take it not, नहीं लेंगे. ठीक है, lease पे लिया गया भैया. Okay, so also Alakanda Limited has an option to purchase that asset after the period of 5 years at the 2,000 rupees. So fair value, again the value is given after 5 years. Okay, so it is reasonable certain that the Alakanda Limited will exercise the option. Now we have to compute the minimum lease payment. So first thing, let me tell you, everything is not going to be considered here, as the Alakanda have taken the asset on for the 5 year from the Mandakini. So there would be some point which is to be considered. Okay, so here the payment on the lease is to be taken 1000 into 12 and for how many years? For 5 years lease. ठीक है, so this we have to take. With this the residential value guaranteed by who? The person, ठीक है, is to be taken. Alakanda Limited is to be taken, which is 5000 again, ठीक है. And the option, because at the last Alakanda Limited has an option to purchase that asset after 5 years, ठीक है. So the value is to be taken, which is 2000. So in total, when we are going to compute, they calculate the minimum lease payment, we'll have 60,000 the answer, ठीक है. So 1000 into 12 into 5, then plus 5000, then plus 2000. Hope so you get my point. Let's go for the 6th. C Limited acquires 60% of the N Limited for 50,000, ठीक है, to 97,50,000. The fair value of identifiable net asset is given, which is 150 lakh. Then the fair market value is 40% of the equity share owned by the non-controlling share, and which is 65 lakh. Carrying amount of unlimited net asset is 120 lakh, and then they calculate the goodwill when the NCI is measured at the proportionate shares of the identifiable net asset. So first thing we have to consider the good value, ठीक है, but when it is measured on the proportionate share of the identifiable net asset. इतनी बात समझ में आ गई? हाँ जी, कंफ्यूज हो सकते हैं, बट इन दी क्वेश्चन दे हैव गिवन एट द एंड कि क्या चीज़ लेना है, क्या करना है. ओके ओके, सो वी हैव परचेज वैल्यू विच इज 97,50,000, येस, एंड वी हैव व्हाट दी NCA 40% ऑफ इक्विटी शेयर ओन बाय, ये वाला 40% निकालने का. सो वील हैव 60 lakh. So by taking this, ठीक है, we will have this amount, and from this we have to reduce the net asset which is given in the question 150 lakh, ठीक है. So we will have 7,50,000 as the goodwill here. Okay, so I hope you know the calculation first thing, ठीक है. So थोड़ा सा मैंने यहाँ पे करके दिखा दिया है वैसे, ठीक है. So hope so you know it very well. Okay, let's go for the 7th question. The Indian government accounting standard 2 deals with what? The accounting and the classification of the grants in ad. ये भी easy है. Let's go for the 8th one. An entity purchased plant from the foreign supplier for the $3 million on the January 31st, 2025. Okay, when the purchase rate was rupees $72, ठीक है, विच इज इक्वल टू $1. बेसिकली रुपीज़ 72 था, एंड एज ऑन दी 31st January 2025 एक्सचेंज रेट वॉज रुपीज़ 72 एज पर $1 is going to be our rupees 72. इतनी भी बात समझ में आ गई. At the entity's year's end on March 31st, 2023, the amount has not paid. आउटस्टैंडिंग हो गया है क्या? हाँ जी. सो येस, एंड देन द क्लोजिंग रेट इज गिवन. सो डेफिनेटली लेट मी टेल यू here the creditor is outstanding because the amount is not paid. Supplier को amount is not paid, and in this case a foreign currency is a monetary item, and that would be valued at what? The closing rate. इतनी बात समझ में आएगी. सो इट्स गोइंग टू बी वैल्यूड एट व्हाट? द क्लोजिंग रेट, एंड द क्लोजिंग रेट इज गोइंग टू बी रुपीज 75 विच इज इक्वल टू $1 ऑन व्हाट? द एंड ऑफ द ईयर 31st March 2025 की बात कर रहे हैं. ओके, इतनी बात समझ में आ गई? हाँ जी, मुझे बहुत अच्छे समझ में आ गई. ओके, नाउ व्हाट वी हैव टू फाइंड आउट? द एंटिटीज फंक्शनल करेंसी इज इन द INR, ठीक है, Indian rupees, and which of the following statements is correct? Okay, so let's calculate. मैंने calculation I have done here, ठीक है. So basically purchased from the plant from the foreign supplier which is at the amount of rupees 3 million. Okay, okay, and what is the exchange rate? That is 72 rupees. Okay, so we'll have $216 million. इतनी बात समझ में आ गई? हाँ जी. Then we are going to the person is going to incur the loss here. How? Because when the initial the exchange rate was 72, ठीक है, and at the closing rate, ठीक है, because this the creditor is not paid, amount is outstanding, ठीक है. So the foreign currency, as I told you, is going to be a monetary item, and in this case we are valued at the closing value, ठीक है. So the closing value is what? 75. Initially it was 72 and then it is going to be 75. तो loss कितना हुआ? 3 हुआ. 3, ठीक है. So we have the plant, the purchase plant value is going to be 3 डॉलर विच इज टू बी मल्टीप्लाइड बाय 3 विच इज लॉस, ठीक है। सो लॉस विल बी $9 million का लॉस। इतनी बात समझ में आ गई, ओके। एंड व्हाट, अच्छा ठीक है, we have to go for the options also, right? So in the very first we have cost of plant and machinery which of 216 million, ठीक है। In the second we are having 225 million, in the third 216, 216. So in the very first I told you the value as per the date when it was taken was 72 rupees, right, as per the exchange rate. So we'll have dollar, this would be actually rupees, ठीक है। So ये मैंने calculation यहाँ पे dollar लिख दिया, ठीक है, ये थोड़ा देख लेना आप, ठीक है। So that is going to be 216 million, ठीक है। So are we having something which is related to 216 million? Yes, we are having 3 options which is A, C and D, not the B. इतनी बात समझ में आ गई, हाँ जी, ओके। एंड व्हाट अबाउट द एक्सचेंज लॉस, आर वी गोइंग टू हैव द एक्सचेंज लॉस? डेफिनेटली, बोला ना, 3 into 3 $3 million into 3, ठीक है, which is going to be 9 million, okay. So let's check, because I'm not going to consider B as an option now because cost of plant is not running, ठीक है, it's not correct as per the option B, okay. So what about the exchange loss? I'm having 9, okay. I'm again having, in C I'm again having 9 loss. In D I'm not having the exchange loss. In D the exchange loss is going to be nil, so I'm not going to be considered this. इतनी बात समझ में आ गई, yes. So clear बोलूँ, either my option is going to be अब तक my option is going to be A or my option is going to be C, अब तक, ठीक है। Let's go for the last point, which is the value is going to be considered at valued at what? The closing rate, which is going to be 75, right? So 3 into 75 we are going to have, this is rupees ना guys, तो ये मैंने गड़बड़ कर दी, यहाँ पे रुपीस लिखने का, okay. So that would be 225 million. So let's check in the first option the trade payable 225 million है कि नहीं, हाँ जी, तो यही अपना ऑप्शन है कि नहीं, हाँ। Let's go for the C वाला part, what is trade payable, which is 216, so this is not the option. So my option is going to be A, cost of plant is going to be 216 million rupees में, ठीक है। Then exchange loss is going to be rupees 9 million, then trade payable is going to be 225 million. इतनी बात समझ में आई है, so my option is going to be A. Very good, ठीक है। Let's go for the next, which is 9. Consolidated financial statement are required to be prepared by the Ind AS compiled company having basically all of the above, and let me give you the explanation. As per sole control over the investee company, it's as per Ind AS 110. The significant influence over the investee company, this is as per Ind AS 28, and then the joint control over the investee companies, again Ind AS 28, okay. So all of these is going to be the answer here. Let's go for the 10th. The Pua Limited grants 100 equity shares option of the 4,000 employees, ठीक है, conditional on their continuing in service of 3 years. इतनी बात, हाँ जी, समझ में आ गई। सो लेट मी टेल यू कि कितना था ईच, 4,000 एम्प्लॉय, ओके, ऑफ कितनी इक्विटी, ऑफ 100 इक्विटी, ओके, इतनी बात समझ में आया, हाँ जी। एंड फॉर दी 3 years, 3 continuing in service for 3 years, okay. So now they have given the fair value of the equity share option on the grant, which is 60. Now my point is going to be either I'm going to take the fair value, or the second they have given the nominal value of each share. नको लेंगे, we are only going to be consider the fair value here. So we थोड़ा सा confusion करने के लिए they have given us the nominal value of each shares 10, that is not going to be taken here, ठीक है। तो the fair value which is 60. So we know basically they have asked us the remuneration expenses for each year. So basically we are going to multiply these things and will be divided by 3 years because it's the vesting years. So 4,000 employee into 100 equity shares into 60 fair value, divide by 3, we will get the 80 lakh every year. So this would be answer, the B is going to be our answer here, okay. Okay, let's go for the this is 11th, yes. 11th question says the Mahi Limited and the Pooja Limited amalgamated from 1st January 2025. A new company, Majo Limited, with the shares of 10 each was formed to take over the business of the existing company. Net asset taken over the Mahi Limited and the Pooja Limited at 90.5 lakh and 97 lakh. ठीक है, पहले माही फिर पूजा, ओके। देन द टोटल परचेज कंसीडरेशन इज 130 लाख। इतनी भी बात समझ में आ गई मुझे। नाउ हाउ मेनी शेयर्स इन दी माजो लिमिटेड विच इज गोइंग टू बी फॉर्म्ड, राइट, will be issued to Mahi Limited. Earlier we were the first party was Mahi, second was Pooja. ठीक है, so the new company going to be formed by taking over the business. The existing one is going to be merged. Now they are simply asking the shares which is issued by whom, issued to whom, to the Mahi, by whom. Okay, इतनी बात समझ में आई. It's easy busy. So we have total number of shares as 130 lakh they are saying. ठीक है, and which is of 10 each were formed to take over the business. So let me tell you, we'll have 13 lakh. ठीक है, 130 lakh divided by 10, it's going to be 13 lakh shares. This is to be divided among the Mahi and the Pooja. ठीक है, so in total when I'm going to add these two shares, the asset, the net asset of these two companies, ठीक है, so that would be 187.5. So 13 lakh divided by 187.5, because we want to know the shares which is issued to Mahi. So Mahi का कितना शेयर था, नेट एसेट था 90.5. So the shares issued to Mahi Limited is going to be 627,467 shares. इतनी बात समझ में आ गई. इजी बिजी था ना? हाँ जी हाँ. Let's go for the next question, which is 12th. The following the information is available from EX Limited. Sales revenue, purchase of raw material, decrease in stock of raw material, WIP finish goods is given. Okay, then printing and sharing stationery is given, then the auditor fees is given, rent rate, other expenses is given, wages and salary is given, depreciation is given. Basically we have to find out the total value added here. Okay, now what is going to be added and what is not going to be considered in the total value, we have to find out. देखो, you have to do it in rough, need not to solve everything, because ये easily हो जाएगा. ठीक है, those there are some question definitely in the MCQ where you are going to stuck. ठीक है, and I'll tell you which one is going to be that. So we have the sales which is going to be considered. Purchase, from this sale we are going to reduce the raw material and the decrease in stock of raw material. Either you can do it by individually, ठीक है, or combine them, because both of them, when we are going to combine both of them, the raw material, the purchase of raw material and the decrease in stock of raw material, that would be consumption basically. ठीक है, so we have to reduce this, and with that we have to reduce the printing and stationery, then the audit fees which is of 5 lakh, printing and stationery was of 35 lakh, the rent rate and other expenses of 10 lakh. Now we are my question to you is whether we are going to consider the wages and salary. Are we going to reduce this part? No, because this is going to be distributed to employees, so we are not going to reduce this wages and salary. इतनी बात समझ में आ गई? हाँ जी. So what about the depreciation? This is retained earning ना, and this again we are not going to consider. So from the value, to find out the total value added from the sale, we have to reduce the purchase value, decrease in stock of raw material, printing and stationery, audit fees and rent and rate. So we'll have 450 lakh. So this is going to be our answer. C is going to be our answer. इतनी बात समझ में आ गई? हाँ जी. So let's go for the 13th question again. So this is again the easy question. On 31st March 2025, NBFC has its advance classified. So as per this, we know what is going to be the percentage. We have to compute this basically. Okay, so standard asset is given. As per standard asset, we'll take 0.40 percentage of the standard asset. Okay, then the substandard asset, which is going to be 10%, is to be considered. Okay, now they are saying secured portion of the doubtful debt. What about if this is going to be unsecured? Then 100% is going to be taken, right? But in this case, up to, because they have written okay, this is going to be a secured portion. So secured portion के लिए that is going to be some of the percentage. Again, for up to 1 year it's going to be 20%, and from 1 to 3 years it's going to be 30%. So in total the answer is going to be 354 lakh is going to be our option. ठीक है? Okay. Let's go for the other part. Again this is going to be, अच्छा थोड़ा सा हो सकता है in 14th you'll थोड़ा सा, इतना भी नहीं, थोड़ा सा confusion हो सकता है. ठीक है? On the 1st January 2025, Shiva Limited entered into a contract with the Kalpit Limited to sell 50 laptops at price of 50,000 per share. इतनी बात तो मुझे clear cut समझ में आ गई. And which were delivered in February 2025, determined revenue to be recognized by the Shiva Limited in 24-25. Now the question is, if 4 were found damaged and time of receiving has and hence returned by the Kalpit Limited. ठीक है? They were damaged and they were returned. ठीक है, they are not saying that they were damaged, they returned and they got back, ठीक है, they have not repaired or given the new one, ठीक है, simply they are saying they were damaged when at the time when they received, at the time only they returned it to the party, ठीक है. So we are going to reduce this 4 from the 50 laptops, ठीक है, so we'll have 46. So here we are going to consider 46. तो थोड़ा सा यहाँ confusion हो सकता है बच्चों की returned वापस आया नहीं आया, ठीक है. So definitely 46 into 50,000 we are going to have 23 lakh. So C is going to be our option answer, ठीक है. अब आते हैं 15th में. So first let me read the question first, ठीक है, then I'll tell you my opinion. What is there are some points which I want to discuss of this particular question of 15th MCQ. Let's go for it. On 1st April 2024, BM Limited acquired 90% of the share of CM Limited at 1080,000. Okay, when the fair value of the net asset was 10 lakh. इतनी बात समझ में? हाँ जी. So the during 1st 4 2024 to 31st 3 2025, CM Limited made total comprehensive income of 2 lakh. On that date, BM Limited sold 15% holding to the outsider at 2,20,000 and gain credit to the equity. Other equity will be, we have to find out. So basically let me tell you, there is no clarification, ठीक है, and the answer is basically not as per the Ind AS 110 here. So whatever the answer is here, when I was solving, my answer was 13,000, ठीक है, but there would be confusion because you have to find out which the question have been solved, ठीक है. We know there are 2 parts ना, तो उसमें थोड़ा सा confusion होने का chances बहुत है. Okay, so we have received bank account 2,20,000 which is given in the question, ठीक है, and which is to be divided into 2 gain or 2 NCI and 2 NCI, right? So how we are going to compute this NCI, which is net asset plus goodwill, into 15% as it was sold, 15% holding to the outsider, right? 15% increase हुआ है ना, so we are going to consider this and divide by 100. ठीक है, this is going to be formula to compute the NCI, but in this case we are going to take the 10% below, ठीक है, 10% below, ठीक है, which is ये remaining 90% का remaining is going to be 10%, ठीक है, acquired किया था ना, हाँ जी. So यहाँ पे एक तो पहली बात confusion हुआ होगा बच्चों को, ठीक है. So yes, 1 lakh then which is going to be net asset, 20,000 good value divided by 10 into my 15% which is going to be 1,80,000 NCI. So I'm saying it again, as per the solution for the Ind AS 110, it's not going to be answer, sorry, but yes, if you have solved the question from the module of CMA, the calculation is different, in the workbook the calculation is different, or in the model test paper the calculation is different. I guess in workbook they have considered the value as per section Ind AS 110, otherwise I don't think so they have considered. So यहाँ पे let's see whatever the answer is given by our CMA module, CMA institute is going to be considered. Okay, so yes, so the remaining is going to be to gain, which is 40,000, ठीक है. So the answer here, the gain credited to other equity will be 40,000, ठीक है. तो आई एम सेइंग यहाँ पे ज़रूर गड़बड़ आपको हुई होगी. ओके, लेट्स गो फॉर द अदर पार्ट गाइस, लेट्स गो फॉर सेक्शन बी. ओके, so before going for section B, let me give you my opinion that the paper was not that easy, not that difficult, it was moderate, ठीक है. It would be moderate or easy for those who have the good conceptual and those who have clear, मतलब those who have done multiple revision, ठीक है. And if you are thinking that only by doing the questions of our module is enough, नहीं, ठीक है, sorry, and you need a scanner, ठीक है, scanner of Suchitra Prakashan. This is not a paid promotion. On the basis of analysis of all the previous year question paper, I have seen that you really need this. If you have not yet purchased, go and purchase and start doing the questions from that, guys, ठीक है. Okay, and yes, some you can see from the model test papers also, or and in मतलब some would be from our our study material and some from workbook also, ठीक है, मतलब I could say, and some are from the concept definitely, ठीक है. So let's go for this. The question A, simple question, I'm not going in depth guys, ठीक है. Basically they are asking about the journal entries in book of Alka Limited, and narration is not required, and as per Ind AS 16 depreciation is to be charged under straight line method, ठीक है. मैं क्वेश्चन नहीं पढ़ रही. सो दिस क्वेश्चन वाज इजी. बेसिकली इट्स basic question, concept basis में nothing is to be done here, just pass a journal entry and hope you know the answer. Let's go for this scanner. अब मैं बताऊँ ये वाला क्वेश्चन as it is उठा लो स्कैनर के सुचित्रा प्रकाशन के, ठीक है, क्योंकि मैंने ये क्वेश्चन सॉल्व किया है इसलिए मैं बिल्कुल 100% श्योरली बोल सकती हूँ. एंड आई गेस द नंबर्स आर ऑल्सो सेम, आई गेस, ठीक है, but this would be exact or the similar you will get in the scanner, ठीक है. So the second का B is from the scanner as it is उठा लो, ठीक है, and this could also seen in December 23, not this much, a little bit was similar to this one, ठीक है. Okay, let's go for the third question. Again I'm saying ये वाला जो क्वेश्चन है ना, लेट मी टेल यू, दिस वाज फ्रॉम स्ट्रेट फ्रॉम आवर स्टडी मटेरियल ऑफ द CMA इंस्टीट्यूट, बट द नंबर्स वर डिफरेंट. बाकी एवरीथिंग वाज द सेम थिंग, ठीक है. एंड इफ यू हैव सॉल्व दैट क्वेश्चन तो ईजी है, अपने लिए बहुत ईजी है. ओके, एंड दिस वर्ड, हाँ, इलिस्ट्रेशन इज 24 बाय द वे फ्रॉम आवर क्वेश्चन फ्रॉम आवर मॉड्यूल, एंड दिस वुड ऑल्सो सीन इन सम ऑफ द प्रीवियस ईयर क्वेश्चन पेपर इन December 23 attempt. Okay, similar. Okay, let's go for the question number 4th, right? Yes, let's go for third ka B, sorry, ठीक है. Now I want to tell you one thing guys, this was based on the concept and this is related to which part? Here this is basically we have to compute the goodwill based on the 3-year purchase of the super profit. Okay, now we know how to compute the super profit goodwill, है ना, बहुत easy है ना. I know if you have solved the question, so you can easily solve this question, ठीक है. Okay, from our module and थोड़ा सा स्कैनर से भी उठा लीजिए. एंड इसमें इतना कुछ है ही नहीं. Basically this is the only adjustment they have given. Okay, and in this you have to compute the capital employed definitely, but you have to take the exemptions, ठीक है. You have to make a note. In working note you have to write it down whether you are going to consider the closing the capital employed or the average capital employed. That's it, ठीक है. Whatever you are going to compute, they would consider your answer or step marking would be given, ठीक है. So if you have opted this answer, then definitely if you still don't know the answer, step marking is always there, don't worry guys. Okay, so yes, and there was nothing as much as per this. Basically just you have to keep some points like the property, plant and equipment were understated by 672 and have suffered a further depreciation of 280. Basically what you have to take a value, ठीक है, because in the inventories also they have said the stock in trade taken at the 90% of the market value, so we have to take the full value of this, which is going to be 7 lakh basically, ठीक है. And in study material, let me tell you, if you have solved the question, I have seen somewhat similar, I'm not saying the exact adjustment होते हैं ना, somewhat similar like this point, ठीक है. I have seen this point, ठीक है. So you can easily solve this question. There was not any tough, this was not the tough one, ठीक है. Okay, so let's go for the 4th का A part. Now they are asking you about what they examine the liability, just a second guys, examine the liability component, equity component and the finance cost, and also pass the general necessary journal entries in the book of delimited for the 3-year term of the debenture. अच्छा मैं बताऊँ ये वाला क्वेश्चन कहाँ से है? ये वाला क्वेश्चन सिंपल सा बात वर्कबुक से उठा लीजिए. वर्कबुक is also there, ठीक है. So from workbook you can find a similar question of this debenture वाला part, ठीक है. So not difficult. If you have practiced, so definitely it's thumbs up for you, ठीक है. So it was easy for you. Let's go for the 4th का B part guys, which is a similar question, can be seen definitely in the scanner, but let me go for the what they have asked. Let me check out. They are asking for the general entries guys for all the above mentioned transaction, and this is the question of the internal reconstruction, and from past 3-4 attempts similar questions are seen. If you have not yet completed or not solved, पहले तो you have to go for our module question, then go for the scanner question, then you will get an idea कि कैसे कैसे questions आते हैं, ठीक है, ओके, हाँ जी. So it was easy, ठीक है. So there are some adjustment you have to go for this and they are easy, not that difficult guys. ये easy था, but हाँ definitely अब तक का if I'm going to review and it was the lengthy question paper. हाँ जी, I cannot deny कि it was not lengthy because lengthy की वजह से हो सकता है थोड़ा बहुत पेपर छूट गया हो आपका, ठीक है. So it was easy guys. Let's go for the fifth question. Again this is related to step acquisition sum and let me go with that what they have written here. Yes, with that we have to pass the general entries to give effect of the business combination in accordance with Ind AS 103 as at the acquisition date, and also prepare the balance sheet after the business combination. NCI is measured by the entity at fair value. So provide the working note, ignore the deferred tax implication. So this was not difficult guys, just बहुत easy था. You have to pass, basically you have to pass the journal entries and also have to prepare the balance sheet, ठीक है. So हाँ थोड़ा सा लेंदी लग सकता है आपको, but इतना कुछ है नहीं इसमें, okay. So it was easy. Again I'm saying if you don't know from where you have to solve the question paper, go with scanner guys. You will get a lot of question related to business combination, consolidation, बहुत सारे variety के questions मिलेंगे. Maybe in our module that is not that much, trust me, because when I was solving I was not satisfied. There were only like 10, 15, 20 question paper होंगे, but when you are going for the scanner you will get more than 70, 80, 100 questions there. तो go with that, ठीक है. Then previous year question paper are there, the model test paper are there, workbook are there, ठीक है. तो कुछ नहीं छोड़ने का अपने को, okay. Let's go for the sixth question. Again this is the similar question can be seen in the scanner and this is basically repetitive nature, ठीक है. These are the question which are, इसके लिए मैं 100% बोल सकती हूँ आपको कि you will get it in the scanner because मैंने भी ये question पहले किया था, ठीक है. So hope so you will get the answer, okay. In here you have to prepare the consolidated balance sheet of H and subsidiary S Limited on the 31st/3/2025. So scanner Suchitra Prakashan. Okay, now let's go for the 7th A. Let me tell you, they have been asked us about the EVA, which is economic value added, and the MVA. Usually MVA is not asked, ठीक है, from past few question paper, बहुत कम you would see, but this time they have asked us. And let me tell you again, this is from which part, this scanner. If you have solved scanner questions guys, it's easy for you, ठीक है. Okay, now let's go for the theory part. Theory is easy, ठीक है. यहाँ से we could expect, ठीक है. Now if you don't know how to cover scanner, take out the theory, ठीक है. scanner बोल के scanner ही रट गया. Okay, if you don't know how to cover the theory part, because होता है usually student got stuck in theory part, ठीक है. कहीं बार क्या होता है, theory आपको बचा लेता है. So मैं from my side I'm going to tell you, take out the scanner. In scanner you'll get a question, and what you have to do by reading one sentence, you have to make the keywords or you have to highlight the main words only, ठीक है. Then it's going to be understandable, and at the end when you are going for the revision, last revision especially, होता है ना कि एक बार देख लो सब याद आ जाता है, ठीक है. So it's the best technique, I'm telling you, ठीक है. Do it if you haven't done yet. So this is the question XBRL. This is the expected one, ठीक है. So you will get it in the scanner again, okay. Let's go further, discuss the question 8A, function of CAG and regard to grants and loan given to the other authority. Basically usually in question is expected like the function of CAG, and this is what seen in model test paper. This is a similar question, ठीक है, model test paper का. So the function of CAG is asked, but in this case they have been specified. They're asking about the regards to the grant or loan given to other authorities or the bodies. So which is again in the scanner. If you don't know, मैं अभी भी बोल रही हूँ, go with scanner guys. Theory ऐसे हो जाएगा आपके लिए, ठीक है. Okay, and then again the 8 का B is also easy. Discuss the responsibility of the Government Accounting Standard Advisory Board GASAB. Mention the Indian accounting standards notified by the Ministry of Finance GOI, ठीक है. So this is again can be seen in MTP, similar कुछ ऐसा ही है. Okay, now let me tell you the last one, the 8th का C part. basically they are asking about to calculate the interest in this company and under the relevant Ind AS. So basically this was a tricky question thoda sa, ठीक है. In this question what I have realized, this concept definitely, ठीक है, question those student have done repetitive questions, solve the questions, then only they could solve it. Otherwise mostly students को थोड़ा सा यहाँ पे दिक्कत आया होगा, ठीक है. सो दिस वॉज द रिव्यू फ्रॉम माई साइड. इट वॉज नॉट दैट डिफ़िकल्ट, इट वॉज नॉट दैट ईजी, ठीक है. कंसेप्ट अगर स्ट्रॉन्ग है, अगर मल्टीपल रिवीजन हो चुका है, देन इट वॉज ईजी फॉर यू, ठीक है. मॉडरेट था वैसे तो देखा जाए, बट इट वॉज लेंदी. हाँ जी, लेंदी हुआ था, तो हो सकता है पेपर आपका छूट गया हो, ठीक है. सो दे वॉज नॉट दैट मच ट्रिकी क्वेश्चन ऑल्सो गाइज, बस ये वाला थोड़ा ट्रिकी था. MCQ में आई गेस 1 और 2 वर ट्रिकी, ठीक है, जहाँ पे अपन थोड़ा स्टक हो सकते हैं. ओके, सो this is it guys from my side. It was a review on our CFR question paper for the CMA final students, our group 4 ka paper. Okay, so hope so it was fruitful for you. If it was, hit the like button, subscribe my channel and share this video with all of your CMA final buddies. Okay, bye guys, toodles.